Shalom, shalom, this is brother Amon Rakal back with another lesson, giving all the praises, honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakal Hadash. Double honors as always goes out to the apostles and the other bishops of Great Millstone who were well, and peace, blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Yeah man, straight into it man. Spirit jumped to me to do this one. I'm going to entitle this video "The Beginning of the End" for Esau, because he's at this end, man. You know, his time is nearly up, man. You can tell that the Spirit is telling you that, man. Look how the world's moving against Esau. Look how Babylon is moving itself. It's an embarrassment to the world, you know. The rest of the world are looking at America, you know, and basically laughing at them. And I say America because America is Babylon, and you know, it's become a joke. You know, no one believes anything that these Edomites or especially have to say anymore, man. Esau, Edom has been found out to be a lie, man. The scriptures talk about him being revealed, man. You know, and he's got to be taken out of the way. Right, so why? So we can enjoy our kingdom of righteousness, man. Because he's wrought nothing but wickedness on this earth, man. I'm not going to paraphrase too much. In fact, I won't paraphrase what I was going to say. I'll get it in a minute. But let's get this. This is 2 Ezra 6 and 7. It says, "Then answered I and said, What shall be the part and asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?" So when is this old earth going to be passed away and the new earth, you know, with the new covenant of the Israelites and the hierarchy of Yahweh Shai, King David on down to the elect 144,000 of a governing body, and the rest of Israel, man, ruling over these other nations? When is that going to come into play? And it says, verse 8, it says, "And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." So now you see his kingdom is crumbling, man. That's that's telling you, he's the end of this world, not the end of the world, as in the end of the world's going to be finished and there's going to be no world after it. Because it says that. It says, "And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." So our world, you know, the world of the Israelites is going to be next, and it's going to be an everlasting kingdom, man. Right? They'll never be able to take it away from us. They won't have the power. Remember, the power that they have in their hand has been given to them, according to Job 9 and 24. We always have to bring that out, because they're strutting around this place like they've taken the power, you know, all the power that they've gained is through their own doing. Well, it's not. You know, the power that they have is from what they've been given to them by the Most High. It's just that simple. Alright? It says, "The hand of the man is betwixt the heel and the hand." Other question Ezra asked, "Thou not?" So, you know, you only get to know, you know, we know in part, we prophesy in part, right? We don't know everything, but we know what we need to know, man. The Lord tells us what we need to know. Let's get this, man. And look at the title. It says, "The triumph of the wicked is short." Right, so let me jump to verse 4. It says, this is Job 20 and 4. It says, "Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, Where is he?" So he's going to, well, I'm not even going to say anything. Let's read on. It says, "He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night." So they're going to be a distant memory, and then eventually they're just going to be forgotten about, man. They're going to serve their time in the kingdom as our slaves, man. You know, and if you find that hard to believe, you're in the wrong place. If you can't believe that, then this ain't for you, man. Because it happened to us. So that's called righteous judgment, man. You know, that's the Lord balancing it out. You can't get away with that. And furthermore, you done it to the Lord's people. The scriptures say, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity." You know, he that killeth with a sword must be killed with a sword. Was it Revelation 13th chapter? You know. So you know, he's got a lot. He's got it coming. You know, he's got it coming, man. And there's nothing that he can do to stop it, man. Nothing. You know, we're talking about the power of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. This is preordained. This is already written, right? Verse 9 says, "The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him." Right? So, you know, it's over. It's over for them. So we get to John 14. Alright, I'm gonna start at 14:4. It says, "Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one." And that goes across the whole board, man. It's you know, I would say this is not related to this lesson, but you know, the scriptures tell us what foods is abominable and unclean to us. So I'm just going to say that covers that too, because you know, these Christians will tell you that they can pray over the swine and all of that, and it'll be clean. If the Lord's made it unclean, it's unclean. Just like the Lord made these Edomites unclean. All right. They're unclean, man, because they're wicked. You know, their soul is not upright in them, right? Verse 5 says, "Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass." So he only has a certain time frame, you know, to work, or timeline to work within, to do his wicked works. And the Lord's going to take him out, man. You know, the Lord's going to take him out. And ultimately, you know, in fact, let's get that. And ultimately, he's going to be destroyed. He's going to be destroyed, man. It's a book of Obadiah. It's one chapter. And this is Obadiah. I haven't read this for a bit, actually. It says, Edom will be humbled. Right? It says, "The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord concerning Edom, we have heard a rumour from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle." Excuse me. Verse 2 says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised." But there's less Edomites on the earth than every other. Everybody else, they're the only unclean lepers on the earth, man. You know, Edom means red. That's why, you know, according to the scriptures, Esau came out red all over, man. That's why his name is Esau, which means wasted away is he, I believe, because is it wasted away is he? I believe so, because the blood shows forth through his skin. But you know, if I'm wrong, someone can check me on that. Verse 3 says, "The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, who saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" See, because they used to live in Mount Seir, right, which is a city that has been carved into the rocks, man. You can still visit that place today and see the old structures, man. And if you look into, I was just checking something on my phone about the word Esau, right? If you look into the word in the blue letter, it says it means hairy, but that's false. Verse 4. Wait, did I read? Right, let me finish this up. It says, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Like, who's going to be powerful enough to take me out? Because I have all the power, I hold all the cards, man. I have all the money, the infrastructure, the armies, everything. Who's going to take me out? You know, that's why he's powerful like that. Right, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence I will bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem El Shai. And that means that exalting itself as the eagle. You know, the eagle is the bird that flies at the highest peaks, man, looking down on everything else. Right? If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Yeah, because this man is just about taking and taking and taking and taking till there's nothing left. He'll bleed this earth dry. He'll bleed the people dry, the sea dry, everything. Because he's rotten to the core. Right, that's why his bounds have been appointed that he cannot pass, man, because otherwise he would just keep basically taking and taking to this earth was just no more. Verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, and they prevailed against thee. They that did eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in it. All these nations that have been dealing, it tells you, man. I can't remember what it was. I think it's Revelation, the 17th chapter, that talks about how the other nations would hate the whole, meaning they would hate Babylon, the whole of Babylon, man. Right? Because of, all the wickedness is done. They deal with Babylon right now, and they'll be in mourning when Babylon is taken out of the picture, because they make money with Babylon. But ultimately, he's riling them up. That place is riling up the nations now anyway. Look what he's doing around the world. Trump's there trying to overtake, other parts of the world, invading other parts of the world, starting wars, talking shit on the mother of Babylon, which is England or Great Britain, however you want to look at it. Verse 8 says, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and the understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, unto the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter, because Yahweh Shai is coming back, and there's going to be a lot of death on this earth. Right? He's not going to magically whisk them away. He's going to put them to death, man. Horrific deaths are coming for these devils and the rest of the heathens, and even some of our people. In fact, the majority of our people. The saving grace for our people is that they're going to be brought back into the kingdom, man. It tells you that in Isaiah the 60th chapter, man. This one says, get this off the screen. Verse 10, it says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Let me jump down, because this is talking about how they stood by and watched us get taken over, man, in 70 AD, in the second of Jerusalem, man. But let's jump down to verse 15, for time's sake. It says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. The reward, thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. We read that in Job. It says, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, because the Lord is only dealing with the Israelites, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And this is why we say Obadiah 1 and 18, because this is their destruction. It says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So they have to be taken out of the way. They cannot be allowed to be in our kingdom for too long. They're going to serve their purpose, and they're going to be destroyed. Right? You know, so the Lord has got a lot planned for these devils, man. Right? Let's go to Ezekiel 25th chapter. And this is talking about all the judgments, man. All the judgments. This is Ezekiel 25 and 12. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because the Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashar. Because we were talking about how we want to get these devils, man, rightfully so, right? There's nothing wrong with saying that, right? But ultimately, this is for the Lord's sake, man. This is for the Lord's sake. And you know, I need to get a few more, man, because I've got to step out soon. But hey, this has got to come out, man. Amos 1 and 11. And look, more judgment scriptures, man. Yeah, you know, I'm talking about Esau, Edom right now, but you other nations, man, you're gonna get it too. Alright. Amos 1 and 11 says, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Yeah, they're non-stop, man. Their oppression against us has been non-stop. It's on a daily basis, and they refuse to even admit it. They gaslight our people into thinking that they're crazy about the treatment that they get in this world, forced upon them by Esau, Edom, and they're the controllers behind all of that, having the other nations feel the way they do. But ultimately, the Spirit of the Lord has been put on them to do so, man. Revelation 12 and 12 says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the heavens of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So his time is nearly over, so he's about to get busy. Alright, he's about to get busy, man. You know, the Habakkuk, the second chapter talks about, you know, they built everything on the blood of the Israelites, man. Do you know, I might as well just get it. Where am I looking? What am I got? I'm going to read it from verse 3. So Habakkuk 2 and 3 says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So we're at the end, and it is speaking. You know, the prophecies are coming into play. All the puzzle pieces are coming together. Right? And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Right? So, we've been saying it for years. It's been said for years. And people think, oh, you've been saying this for years and we're still here, nothing's happened. Listen, we're working on the Lord's time, not on the time that we understand to be relative to us. 1,000 days is 1,000 years is one day, and one day 1,000 years, man. To the Lord. It says, verse 4 says, behold, that his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Right? Yea, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Take. Well, like I said before. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Shall they not rise up suddenly that bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties for them? And we're talking about booties, at camp yesterday, man. That's the spoils, man. Right, that's the spoils of war, man. So we're gonna, after our enemies are defeated, there's gonna be plenty of things, tangible things for us to take and own. Right? Verse 8 says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that covereth an evil covetousness to his house. So I think I read that wrong. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. So they're just heaping their destruction upon themselves, really. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity. So that's them. I'm just going to get a few bits here. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbour drink, and puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou may lookest upon their nakedness. That is wine that they've dished out to the nations, all the abominable things they teach the nations, and everything against the scriptures, and teaching them, let's start with Yahweh Shai, man. The depiction of Yahweh Shai. Long hair, Edomite looking, soft looking. Scripture tells you what he looks like. Getting people to eat abominable foods, the poison in the foods, and all the indoctrinations in the schools, and just in social media, and just in the world now, man. Especially when it comes to the fruity side of things, man. I'll just kind of keep it light on that, for obvious reasons. But you know what I mean. All the lies perpetuated, the history that's been reimagined and rewritten. It says, thou art filled with the shame for glory, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Yeah, man. They're being exposed, man. Alright, they're being exposed. So it's it's on its way. The destruction is nigh. Let's just get a couple more presets, man. I've got to start getting ready to leave. Let's and this is just to clarify the hatred that the Most High has for these people. You know, Malachi 1:1 says, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. It says, I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Right? Wherein Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. Right? That's righteous indignation, man. Righteous anger, right? So, listen, the Lord is not dealing with them, man. Let's get one more and I'll close out. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing to believe this as well, to understand it to be true. Alright? Let's start at verse 3. 2 Thessalonians 2:3 says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. That man of sin is Esau, Edom, right? And this is going to tell you that it's him. It says, who opposeth, right, and exalteth himself above all that is called power, right? And he does, he opposes it, because he tells you lies about, he's told the people that there is no power, there is no Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and exalted himself above, right? He's told you that he knows how the world was created, not the scriptures. He's told you that there was a big bang. The earth was formulated by an explosion in deep space, and all this stuff, that it wasn't created by the powers led by Yahweh Shai in the very beginning, man. Those powers were the elect, led by Yahweh Shai. So he teaches against the Most High, man. It says, all that is worshipped, so that he as power sitteth in the temple of power, showing himself that he is the power. Right? Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things? And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. Right? And it's his time to be revealed. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, which is the Most High, until he be taken out of the way. Then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, right, which is the scriptures, right, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, which is Yahweh Shai. And on that note, I'm going to close out. And yeah, man, Lord, when this is edifying. And I'm finished by giving all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Hashem Rakah HaKodash. And with that, I'm going to close out, and Shalom.